One of my favorite questions is tell me about your self-care routine. How do you take care of you?
I love that because I am proud of myself for journeying to where I am today. So every single day, probably at least 5 days a week, which is light years from where I was, I'm in the gym. Like, I leave the desk, I leave the house, I leave the laptop, I take my water, and I spend at least 30 minutes doing some type of physical activity, like 5 days a week, sometimes more. And to what you say around pondering, right? Like, it actually, me stepping away without making concession and renegotiating the time, it allows me to ponder whatever I was left lingering with when I was trying to just get it done. My brain keeps chewing on it as I'm doing other things, and I come out with a much better solution than what I was going to do. And if the next day I don't have time to implement, I allow myself to just think. Like, thinking time, especially for executives, entrepreneurs, leaders, are much more important than the doing. Because actually, once you figure it out, anybody could do it. That's not the brilliant part, right? It is, having those times to think. So the gym is a huge part of my self-care routine. I actually have a more truncated day than I ever did before, because now my husband, I got married in October. We're now in the States. He works here in the States. We just got his green card. So we actually got it 14 months earlier than we thought we would, but we love Alabama. Yeah, we love Alabama. They're my family so much. We decided to stay before the green card even happened, right? So in the morning, I am cooking him breakfast. Literally hot breakfast every morning. I am packing his lunch like every single morning. And that time of just being present, like being still, and getting him from work in the afternoons, because he hasn't gotten his U.S. license here yet. So my day is a lot more. I have like 4 hours, honestly, of work time, right? But that is self-care because there's nothing strenuous about the cooking. There's nothing strenuous about and committing myself to that and relinquishing the wish that I was grinding during those times, and the wish that I could be more productive. It has journeyed me to a place of being nourished for the first time in my life. I've always been like okay and hurdling and rebounding, but I'm so full and moist and just full, that it is very hard for my cup to run dry these days because it's so insulated with slow pacing, thoughts, exercise, water, So that's my everyday now, which is very different from where I was 3 years ago. It's taken me years to get to this place of not resisting this type of slowness, but I've not lost anything. I've gained more than I've lost.